Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, August 11. I'm Mai Rodriguez for your midday report. We'll be giving you the stories shaping the nation at this hour. In the headlines, on day 14 of the impeachment trial, a witness from the Commission on Audit says some of the activities of the Vice President's office did not justify the use of confidential funds. The death toll from the combined effects of Tropical Cyclones Luis, Maymay, and the southwest monsoon rises to 19, with 4 people still missing. The executive department turns over to the House of Representatives the 7.2 trillion peso proposed national budget for next year. And the Labor Department imposes penalties and recommends deportation proceedings against former Ateneo head coach Tab Baldwin in connection to the deaths of 2 student athletes. The impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte resumes today, entering its 14th day. On the witness stand, COA Supervising Auditor Cignal del Campo. The prosecution is still building its case on the Vice President's alleged misuse of confidential funds worth 612.5 million pesos. Hannah T is live from the Senate. Hannah, what were the revelations of today's witness?
My tree planting, Christmas activities, and a partners appreciation event were among the activities of the Office of the Vice President cited to justify its use of confidential funds. But according to a COA witness, there were 2 problems. These activities happened before the period covered by the cash advance, and they were not even among the activities that are allowed for confidential funds use. On day 14 of VP Sara's impeachment trial, COA witness Cignal del Campo walked the court to the audit of the OVP's 125 million peso confidential fund used from December 21 to 31, 2022. When COA questioned the expenses and issued a notice of suspension, OVP Chief of Staff Zuleika Lopez submitted a list of activities to support the use of the funds. The list included tree planting, Christmas activities, and a partners appreciation event. But Del Campo said these activities were held from December 13 to 19 or before the 125 million cash advance was used from December 21 to 31. And even if the dates had matched, the witness said these activities still did not fall under the allowable uses of confidential funds under COA rules. COA eventually issued a notice of disallowance covering 73.28 million, meaning it disallowed those expenses and ordered the amount returned. Of that, 69 million covered reward payments that COA said were not properly supported, while about 3.5 million covered unverified purchases of office equipment, including tables, chairs, desktop computers, and printers. Mai Del Campo also testified that VP Sara, as head of the agency, was among those held liable because she approved the transaction and the use of the cash advance.
Si Vice President Sara Duterte po, siya po ang nag-approve ng transaction and including the utilization of the cash advance.
Mai also listed as liable were Special Disbursing Officer Gina Acosta, who disbursed the cash advance, and Chief Accountant Julieta Villa del Rey, who certified that the supporting documents were complete and proper. Back to you, Mai.
Hannah, now that the COA has issued a notice of disallowance, what happens next? And has any of that 73.28 million pesos, has any of it actually been returned?
So far, Mai, doon sa huling update ni COA witness Del Campo, wala pa raw final decision itong commission proper pagdating doon sa naging motion for reconsideration ng kampo ni VP Sara dahil nga una na kasing inaffirm ng COA na kailangan ngang ibalik yung 73.287 million peso worth of confidential funds, and yung dahil doon sa nilabas nilang notice of disallowance. Meron ngayong nakabinbin kasi may na MR ang OVP, at yan yung hinihintay natin kung magkakaroon ba ng desisyon itong COA pagdating dun sa kung dapat na bang ibalik ito at kung agad-agad ba na kailangan ibalik ito ng OVP. Mai?
Actually, Hannah, kasi the real issue is na pinoint out din ng prosecution, yung proper documentation and accountability dito sa mga funds na ito. Naungkat na rin ba yung 2 million pesos a day na supposedly ginamit sa mga safe house? Naungkat na rin ito dati doon sa mga house hearings. Nabusisi ba ito?
May doon sa daloy nung trial over the past few proceedings, yan yung isa sa mga lumitaw na meron ngang nagastos about 2 million pagdating sa safe house ng OVP. Pero sa ngayon kasi ang pinag-uusapan pa ay yung mga bagong pangalan na lumitaw doon sa mga acknowledgement receipt na sinasabi ay ilan sa mga politiko ay kaapelido nila yung mga nandoon sa mga nasabing AR. So far, may hihintayin natin kung ito bang mga safe house ay bubusisiin rin at idedetalye ba ng COA witness. Sa ngayon, nandun pa tayo sa AR sa daloy ng trial. Mai?
Maraming salamat, Hannah T. Live from the Senate. Still on the impeachment trial, the prosecution wasted no time raising an issue over evidence comparison with the defense. Kumuha tayo ng detalye kay Isaiah Mirafuentes mula sa Senado. Isaiah, go ahead.
May matapos ng kahapon dahil sa kapagat, tuloy nga ang paglilitis ngayong araw at ang nakaharap na testigo ng prosekusyon ay si Sailin May del Campo, ang State Auditor ng Commission on Audit. Pero sa panimula pa lang ng paglilitis ay may tila sinumbong na agad si Private Prosecutor Attorney Lorna Capunan sa Impeachment Court. Aniya, nag-text daw kasi sila sa depensa last week para sana magsagawa ng comparing of evidence noong Thursday and Friday. Subalit hindi agad nag-reply ang defense team. At mas mapapabilis kasi ang trial sakaling gawin nila ito at mag-stipulate ang depensa.
Ito po ang nangyari, na indyan po kami. Why do I say that? Wednesday, we made a text message, and I have the text messages here. When do we meet? Tomorrow or Friday? Wala pong sagot nung Wednesday. On Thursday, we waited the whole day. Kailan tayo magmi-meet? Thursday na ngayon. Friday na bukas. Wala pa rin sagot, Your Honor.
Matapos ang matagal nilang paghihintay, sumagot naman daw ang depensa. Pero ang gusto raw ng defense ay sa August 14 ito gawin o sa Friday na inalmahan naman ng prosekusyon. May sa nagpapatuloy na trial, maraming ang mga pangalan muli ang naungkat sa paglilitis. Kabilang sa mga bagong pangalan na ating narinig ay si Tia Piatos Lim, Ann Ong Pauco, Hart Santiago, Beth Revilla, Clarice Honteveros, Jose Jocno Jr. at iba pa. Sila yung mga pangalan na nakasulat doon sa acknowledgement receipts na umano'y nakatanggap nitong confidential funds mula sa Office of the Vice President. Maya.
Isaiah, makakaya ba na, kasi 31 days lang ang allotted for Article 1, so the prosecution needs to squeeze in a number of witnesses dito sa 31 days. Ano ang sinabi nila dito? Parang kulang na sila sa oras.
Tama ka dyan, May, after the prosecution last week, they will evaluate kung ano ba ang magiging hakbang nila dahil para sa pakiramdam nila may nakukulangan o nabibitin nga sila dito sa oras ng trial. Ang sabi sa atin ng House Trial spokesperson, titignan nila kung sasapat pa ba yung mga panahon nila para nga dito sa confidential funds. At abangan natin ngayong araw kung ano nga resulta ng kanilang evaluation kaugnay nga dyan. Pero sinasabi sa atin palagi ng prosecution na susubukan nila, gagawin nila ang kanilang makakaya para mapabilis itong paglilitis. Ngayon nga lang, bago ako bago pumasok rin si Capunan, Attorney Capunan sa impeachment court, nakausap rin natin siya. Ang sinasabi niya sa atin, sila may mga delaying tactics na raw silang nararamdaman ng defense na kabilang na nga dyan yung hindi pag-stipulate. So titingnan natin kung itutuloy ba ng prosekusyon na i-request sa impeachment court na ibalik sa hapon itong paglilitis para sana medyo mapahaba-haba itong trial.
Alam ko rin na naka-line up next yung mga disbursing officers ng DepEd at ng OVP, sila Gina Acosta at Edward Fajarda. Kailan kaya sila maipipresenta?
May base doon sa na ipinadala dito sa dalawang tinrawag na natin hostile witness, no, ay ngayong this week dapat sila haharap. Actually, kanina may bago mag-start yung trial, nakita natin pumasok sa holding area ng witnesses itong si Gina Acosta. Pero titingnan natin kung agad bang matatapos itong si Sailin Del Campo na kasalukuyan nakasalang sa witness stand. According to the prosecution, if ever nga daw na maaga itong matapos, ay isasalang na nila agad itong si Gina Acosta. Yan ay kung papayagan na sila o papayagan sila ng impeachment court na ihabol si Gina Acosta.
Alright,
Bye.
maraming salamat Isaiah Mirafuentes nag-uulat. The defense panel asserts the impeachment court does not require them to make stipulations on the authenticity of the evidence presented by the prosecution. Nasa Senado rin si Dexter Ganibe. Dexter, ano pa ang naging argumento ng depensa?
May mariing ginutulan ng defense panel ang panukala na pag-stipulate sana doon sa mga hawak ng prosekusyon na mga ebidensya o mga documentary evidence, particular itong mga acknowledgement receipts doon sa liquidation ng confidential fund ng Office of the Vice President. Nanindigan itong si Attorney Christine Ferrer na hindi naman mapapabilis ang trial proceeding kahit pa ikumpara nila ang kanilang hawak na exhibit o documentary evidence sa prosekusyon dahil nakasalalay pa rin niya sa pasya ng korte ang authenticity ng mga ebidensya at ang desisyon na yan ay mangyayari lang kapag may final offer of evidence na ang prosekusyon at may komento na rito ang depensa. Bukod pa riyan ay ang competence o mano ng testigo.
We did not stipulate here in open court that the witness is competent to identify the exhibits, Your Honor, kasi hindi naman ho namin kilala ho yung taga-COA. Pangalawa, we don't know the extent of her examination of the documents. Pangatlo, she just assumed the work of Mr. Wamil.
Git pa ni Attorney Ferrer na trabaho ng counsel ng prosekusyon na probahan sa korte ang competence ng kanilang testigo at hindi sa pamamagitan ng stipulation ng depensa sa mga exhibits o ebidensya na gagamitin sa kanyang testimonya. Sabi pa ni Ferrer na pinaabot na nila sa prosekusyon na hindi sila tututol kahit gaano man karami ang mga exhibit o ebidensya ang ipipresenta nila sa korte. Malinaw naman niya sa rules ng impeachment court na hindi naman required ang depensa na mag-stipulate sa authenticity ng mga exhibits. Base rin niya sa kanyang experience sa court litigation, kayang tapusin sa loob lang ng 10 minutes para maipresenta ang mga ebidensya para sa isang quarter. Sinagot rin ng depensa ang panukala ng prosekusyon na paggamit ng ebidensya ng depensa para sa prosekusyon.
It doesn't matter if they will use our own exhibits, Your Honor. It doesn't even make their witness competent. That is why we are here in open court to establish the competence. So kahit pagamitin ho namin yung exhibit namin, kung hindi naman ho competent yung witness nyo to identify those exhibits, it will still be a waste of time. It will be useless.
May kumain din ng ilang minuto itong pagtatalo ng depensa at prosekusyon bago maisalang muli ang pangalawang testigo ng prosekusyon para dito sa Article 1 ng Articles of Impeachment. May?
So Dexter, matutuloy pa rin ba yung ipinanukala ng impeachment court na magtagpo itong dalawang panig para ikumpara ang ilan sa mga ebidensya?
May hindi na matutuloy yan dahil kanina ay nagpasya na rin ang presiding officer ng impeachment court na si Senator Chis Escudero na magsumiti na lamang itong depensa ng kopya doon sa pinagtatalo ng acknowledgement receipts na hawak nila para ang mga senator judges na lang ang siyang tumingin kung meron bang pagkakaiba ang hawak ng depensa doon sa hawak naman ng mga ebidensya ng prosekusyon. May?
Kanina, Dexter, nagpasya itong si Presiding Officer Chis Escudero na magsumite na lang ang depensa ng mga kopya ng acknowledgement receipts or acknowledgement report na pinagtalunan para makita rin ng senator judges ang mga ito at maikumpara ang pagkakaiba dito sa hawak ng prosecution. Tell us more about that.
Oo, kasi yung desisyon na yan, May, kasi hindi na nga magtatagpo dahil talagang nanindigan itong depensa na hindi nila ipapakita sa prosekusyon yung mga hawak nilang acknowledgement receipts doon sa mga liquidation para doon sa confidential fund. Kaya ang korte na mismo, sabi ni Senator Chis Escudero, ang presiding officer ng impeachment court, sabi niya, isubmit nyo na lang sa amin yung inyong mga hawak na kopya para kami na ang magtukoy dyan. Titingnan na lang namin kung may pagkakaiba yung hawak ng prosekusyon at nitong depensa at bagay na sinang-ayunan naman ng depensa. May.
Maraming salamat, Dexter Ganibe, live mula sa Senado. In other big news today, 19 people have died while 15 others were injured due to the combined effects of Tropical Cyclones Luis and Maymay and the enhanced southwest monsoon or habagat. Benguet recorded the highest number of fatalities due to landslides. The Office of Civil Defense says 4 people remain missing, 3 in Benguet and 1 in Batangas. Days of inclement weather has affected more than 2 million people across 10 regions, including Metro Manila. The OCD says more than 900 evacuation centers have been opened, sheltering nearly 95,000 people or more than 26,000 families. A total of 684 houses were damaged, with 639 partially damaged and 45 completely destroyed. Damage to infrastructure has reached more than 1.4 billion pesos, while agricultural losses are estimated at more than 135 million pesos. Meanwhile, the government has provided some 73 million pesos worth of assistance to affected families. Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon is leading today's inspection of water channels in the city of Parañaque, which suffered severe flooding the past days. Clearing operations are underway because of the huge amounts of garbage clogging the waterways. Micah Razon is on the phone for more. Micah, what's the latest?
The clearing operations are still underway here in Parañaque City water channels after it was completely filled with garbage. Personnel from the LGU Centro, MMDA, TUPAD, DPWH, and DNR have joined forces to clear the water channel. And just to give you an idea of how much garbage they're dealing with, this water channel is about 1 kilometer long, and it seems like there's also about 1 kilometer's worth of trash. We also saw Centro personnel actually stepping into the water, which is filled with garbage, and some of them were not wearing PPE. They told us that they already used to cleaning creeks and esteros, so for them, this kind of work is nothing new. DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon and MMDA General Manager Nicolas Torre also came here to check on the situation. They said this is the first time they've seen this much garbage in this particular water channel. According to them, the volume of trash was so large that the trash trap installed here could no longer handle it. Back to you, Mai.
Micah, ano raw ang magiging solusyon dito? Kasi matagal nang problema itong flooding at indiscriminate disposal of garbage na always it actually worsens the floods dyan sa Parañaque. Anong sinabi ni Secretary Vince dito?
Sabi ni Secretary Vince Dizon regarding the solution, hindi daw ito overnight na masosolve, pero sabi nila sa ngayon ang gagawin nilang intervention ay aayusin daw nila yung trash trap at nag-call din sila na sana yung mga basura ay itapon natin sa tamang basurahan dahil sabi nga daw naniniwala si Secretary Vince Dizon na kung ano yung basura na itinapon natin ay babalik din sa atin at ito na nga daw yung naging pruweba nito. Mai?
Maraming salamat, Micah Razon, nag-uulat. Newly appointed Health Secretary Edwin Mercado is expected to meet with new PhilHealth Chief Beverly Ho to carry out the directives from Malacañang. He replaces Jose Pujalte Jr., who resigned barely a month after his appointment. Pierre Pastor joins us for the details. Pierre, go ahead.
Yes, my newly appointed Secretary of Health, Dr. Edwin Mercado, answered the queries about his new post. In his statement, he said the President's directive is clear and that they are ready to carry out PBBM's instructions. Mercado said that he will be meeting with Dr. Bev Ho, the newly appointed PhilHealth chief, to discuss their shared priorities. He then promised to give updates once both of them have settled in their new roles. Mercado said he is grateful to the president for his trust in him and also thanked former DOH Secretary Jose Brix Pujalte for his service and wished him luck for his future endeavors. Dr. Mercado is a U.S.-trained orthopedic surgeon with extensive leadership experience. He obtained his medical degree from the UP College of Medicine. He received his master's degree in care administration from the University of Carolina at Chapel Hill. Also completed his master's in medical science degree from the Harvard Medical School. Mercado served as medical director of the Daniel Mercado Medical Center, also had leadership roles at the Mercado General Hospital and Qualimed Health Network. Before his appointment as DOH Secretary, he was president and CEO of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth. In his stint, he focused on expanding benefits and digitalizing PhilHealth processes, including claims. Meanwhile, Dr. Beverly Lorraine Ho, who replaced Dr. Mercado and PhilHealth, is now government service. She has she was DOH Assistant Secretary for the Public Health Services team. Also served as Undersecretary and OIC for the Public Health Services and Health Promotion Bureau. Also was the Director of the Disease Prevention and Control Bureau when she left, before she left the government. She held the position of Chief Health Officer of the Ayala Healthcare Holdings Incorporated. Now she's back in government service as PhilHealth's chief. Mai?
Pierre, may detalye pa ba tayo kung bakit nag-resign si Secretary Pujalte? Kasi kahapon si Yuse Claire Castro wala masyadong sinabi tungkol sa resignation nga ni Pujalte.
Actually, hindi na siya nagre-reply sa akin. Before naman, mabilis siyang mag-reply. But maybe siguro meron silang protocol na hindi na lang sagutin yung in details. But nakalagay naman na it was due to health reasons din.
Okay, wala pa kasing isang buwan, nag-resign na siya. Pero maraming salamat, Pierre Pastor, nag-uulat. Up next, the Labor Department hands down its decision on former Ateneo head coach Tab Baldwin on the deaths of student athletes Neba Terbonia and Divine Adili. The details after the break. Stay tuned to Midday Report. You're back on Midday Report. The House of Representatives formally receives the 7.2 trillion peso proposed national budget for next year. Lade Cabagani is on the line for the details. Lade, which departments will get the biggest chunk of next year's budget?
The Department of Budget and Management has formally turned over the proposed 2027 National Expenditure Program to the House of Representatives. The proposed national budget is set at a record 7.2 trillion pesos, a 6% higher than this year's 6.7 trillion peso budget. The budget, equivalent to 21% of the country's GDP, carries this year's theme, people-centered growth for an inclusive and resilient future. DBM said the spending plan will prioritize education, healthcare, jobs, and livelihoods, public safety, infrastructure, and other essential services. DBM Acting Secretary Kim Robert De Leon noted the budget is a key step in turning the administration priorities into actual government programs and services. The agency also stressed that every peso must be spent wisely to improve lives of Filipinos, strengthen communities, and create more opportunities. Among the highlights of the 2027 National Expenditure Program is the restored funding for flood control projects despite controversies surrounding the handling of the budget. House Appropriations Committee Chairperson in Nueva Ecija, Representative Micaela Swansing, also said the people-centered budget includes safeguards and transparency provision to ensure government funds are spent properly and will not used for political purposes. The 2027 National Expenditure Program now moves to the next stage of the budget process as the government seeks to support economic growth while maintaining fiscal discipline. Mai?
Laid now with billions allocated for flood control, how is the government making sure that these projects are actually implemented and not turn into ghost projects, and how will they check if the projects really exist?
Mai, that's where the new safeguards come in. According to Representative Swansing, DBM Secretary De Leon Minuel says flood control projects will undergo strict vetting, with each proposal required to have a program of work before funding is approved. They will do it through digital and satellite monitoring. My project implementation will also be made public through the Compass system and the DPWH transparency portal, while Project Dime will use satellite data to verify whether reported structures actually exist. Mai?
Laid, how much are we talking about for flood control next year? And Congress is also getting involved in the vetting, correct?
Yes, Mai. The 2027 National Expenditure Program proposes 107 billion pesos for flood control, including maintenance, repair, rehabilitation, and improvement of existing infrastructure. And my Representative Swansing said the House will conduct another round of rigorous review to remove unnecessary or questionable projects. She also pointed out to 1 billion pesos in the 2026 budget for the Project NOVA to update flood hazards mapping, with experts helping improve flood risk management. Mai?
Thank you, Laid Kabagani reporting. The Labor Department, or in other news, NBI. Okay, going back to that report, the Labor Department has imposed millions of pesos in fines on former Ateneo men's basketball coach Tab Baldwin and the Ateneo de Manila University over violations involving his employment permits. Baldwin is among those being held responsible for the Aurora tragedy, which claimed the lives of student athletes Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili. Nasa linya ngayon si Chill Emprido. Chill, go ahead.
Yes, Mai, pinagmumulta nga ng Department of Labor and Employment o DOLE sa pangunguna nga ni Labor Secretary Francis Tolentino si retired coach Tab Baldwin. Ito'y kaugnay sa kanyang employment status sa Pilipinas, kabilang na nga itong pagiging head coach ng Ateneo Blue Eagles basketball team. Sa naging desisyon, Mai, ng DOLE, pinagbabayad itong si Baldwin at Ateneo School University ng tig-10,000 piso dahil sa kabiguang kumuha ng alien employment permit para sa pagiging coach at empleyado nitong si Baldwin. Hati rin sila sa ipinataw na multang 4,900,000 dahil sa kabiguan naman nakapaghain ng Certificate of Exemption.
Directly liable si Ateneo. So, ibig sabihin, kung hindi makabayad si Baldwin, si Mr. Baldwin, si Ateneo ang babayad. Hindi naman 4.9 si Ateneo, si Mr. Baldwin. Isang 4.9 lang yung mga. Yung sa BI kasi, yun yung deportation. Kasi bago ka mag-deportation, kailangan harapin mo muna yung mga criminal cases kung meron na ipafile ang DOJ o si ITG. So, hindi mo muna siya pwedeng i-deport.
Maliban nga dyan, inirekomenda rin ng DOLE sa Bureau of Immigration itong pag-aaral sa summary deportation proceedings laban kay Baldwin. Kaugnay pa rin dito sa pagtatrabaho nito sa Pilipinas nang walang maayos na kaukulang dokumento. Nang tanungin natin si Baldwin kanina kaugnay sa naging desisyon ng Department of Labor and Employment, no comment lamang ang sagot ng resigned coach. Mai?
Chill, may naging reaksyon din ba ang Ateneo de Manila University?
May kanina sa nangyari doon sa may press con after nitong desisyon ng DOLE, biglamang ding nag-exit ang Ateneo kasama itong si Coach Tab Baldwin at talagang
Pumiling lamang si Coach Tab at ang mga personnel or official ng Ateneo nang tanungin kung ano yung reaction nila regarding dito sa ipinataw nga na multa na 4.9 million pesos at itong 10,000 pesos na multa bawat isa.
Maraming salamat, Chill Emprido, nag-uulat. In other news, NBI Director Melvin Matibag details the alleged involvement of former Congressman Zaldico's counsel, Attorney Rui Rondain, in a supposed honey trap plot targeting high-ranking government officials. On BNC's On Point, Matibag said Rondain was among 4 lawyers who worked on the affidavits of women who were allegedly used to file trumped-up cases against Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. According to Matibag, they obtained CCTV footage showing Rondain meeting with his law firm partner and 2 associates. Meanwhile, the NBI chief said they also obtained footage of former Congressman Jing Paras meeting with arrested talent manager known only as alias Ken, several women and lawyers from Rondain's firm.
July 15 and July 26. So yung July, ang recollection dun sa meeting na yon, may kasama na lawyers. So nag-meet na una, tapos pinadala yung mga babae nung 15 na to. Ito na yung 15. Yung 11 kasi hindi namin na-document yan masyado, no? When I say na-document, I will tell you now, meron kaming copy ng CCTVs. So nung 15, kitang-kita, Congressman Jing Paras, yung 4 na babae, yung si alias Ken, and lawyers nandoon. Dala yung affidavit, yun yung kwento sa amin, at yun yung sabing, ando doon, kung ano-anong allegation, nagda-drugs, tapos kung ano-anong sexual na favors ang ginagawa, maraming kwento. Yung pera, hinahagis, mga ganyan na storya. Detailed yung storya.
The National Bureau of Investigation has heard from the camp of Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste in connection with the alleged honey trap plot targeting Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. Andrea Salve is reporting live from the NBI. Andrea, what did the lawyers of Leviste say?
Mai, Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste's right to remain silent. This was what Leviste's lawyers invoked as they appeared before NBI National Capital Region investigators today in connection with the ongoing probe into the alleged honey trap plot against Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. Attorney Gabriel Rondain Kapunan also reiterated their camp's denial of any involvement in the alleged plot. Leviste's name was earlier dragged into the issue after he was allegedly identified as the financier behind an attempt to besmirch the reputation of his well-known political rival, the Executive Secretary.
We deny any involvement. Again, no comment, and yeah, we deny.
Asked whether Leviste had already returned to the country, Rondain Kapunan said she had no knowledge of his whereabouts. Philippine authorities earlier reported that the lawmaker left the country for Hong Kong last August 2nd. Leviste was first summoned by the NBI last Thursday, August 6, but instead of appearing before investigators, his camp sent a letter requesting documents related to the case. The request was denied by the NBI. However, due to inclement weather last Thursday, Leviste's camp was given until today to appear before investigators. Later this afternoon at 2, it will be former Negros Oriental Congressman Jing Paras's turn to face NBI investigators. Paras was also implicated in the alleged plot, but this time as the supposed intermediary between the arrested pimp and Leviste. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Andrea Salve, live from the NBI. The alleged honey trap operation targeting Executive Secretary Ralph Recto involved millions of pesos. This, according to alias Ken, the arrested talent manager of the women allegedly used in the character assassination plot. On BNC's The Spokes, attorney Raymond Palad said his client was contacted by former Congressman Jing Paras, whom he has known for a long time.
How much money is involved here? I'm just curious.
Initially 6 million.
Okay.
6 million. Then nag-counter offer daw si Attorney Paras ng 5.5. Ang breakdown is 1 million sa bawat girls, 4 yun. Tapos 1 million kay talent manager. Then yung excess na 500,000, isosole kay Jing Paras. According to my client,
But bakit ka napatigil sa akin? ibig sabihin kumita si Jing Paras.
Hindi ko alam kung kumita kasi nga hindi na naman natuloy yung project.
Pero let me ask you, bakit si alias Ken ang kinontak to provide the girls? Ano ba ang background nito? At is there a personal relationship between Jing Paras and alias Ken?
Matagal na sila magkakilala after pandemic.
Okay.
Matagal na.
Meanwhile, Palad stressed that according to his client, the operation was intended only for Executive Secretary Recto and did not involve other cabinet officials. Coming up, the U.S. is demanding compensation from Iran, a move that could further complicate efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. More world news, plus the latest in sports and the weather when Midday Report returns. Stay with us. In a move that will likely complicate efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. President Donald Trump is demanding that Iran pay compensation for people killed in wars, attacks, and protests. Trump's proposal, which has not been raised before, was a response to Tehran's demands for compensation and an end to sanctions.
They asked for reparations, you might say, or they asked for money for the damage that we've done. I said, that's a good idea. Well, we're going to ask for money for the damage they've done over a 50-year period. Whether you go SS Cole or whether you go all of the people that were so badly hurt, so badly wounded or killed, many thousands of people, and maybe damages for the 52,000 protesters over the last 4 months that were killed in Iran. We think their family should get damages for killing their person or their child or mother, father that were protesting. It's at least, it was 52,000 a month and a half ago. So now what is it? So if there's damages to be paid, I think Iran should pay those damages.
Colombia's city of Cali imposes a curfew after a 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck the country. Authorities say the curfew was ordered because of looting threats and to give rescue workers better conditions to operate.
A partir de esta noche,
starting tonight at 8 p.m., I have declared a curfew until 6 a.m. in order to ensure safety in the city and to provide sufficient space and conditions for rescue workers to continue their efforts. We are facing threats of looting, which is why I have ordered a curfew and the militarization of Cali. I ask citizens to promptly report any attempts at looting or security incidents they may detect.
The earthquake damaged or destroyed about 5,000 homes, while over 100 people died and around 700 were injured. Authorities say 188 people are still missing as rescue operations continue. A U.S. appeals court has allowed thousands of lawsuits against Meta, Google, TikTok, and Snapchat to move forward. The lawsuits accuse the social media companies of designing their platforms to be addictive to young users. The 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals rejected an appeal by Meta and TikTok to stop more than 3,000 federal cases. The companies argued that a U.S. law shields them from such claims. The lawsuits allege that addictive social media use has contributed to rising depression, anxiety, and body image problems among American youth. U.S. President Donald Trump has voiced support for FIFA President Gianni Infantino. In a Truth Social post, he said removing Infantino would be a terrible mistake Infantino is facing criticism over a failed plan to sell part of the World Cup's commercial rights to private investors. UEFA has threatened to boycott FIFA tournaments until it receives a promise that no similar schemes will be proposed in the future. Despite the backlash, several football associations continue to support Infantino. The Philippines has successfully defended its Asia-Pacific Paddle Cup title, cementing its place among the leading paddle nations in the region. With the sport still relatively young in the Philippines, Philippine coaches are now focused on expanding grassroots programs and discovering new talent. On BNC's The Scorecard, Coach Brian Casao says winning in Asia is only part of the equation. Filipino players now need regular exposure to stronger international competitions and training environments.
Well, of course, hindi lang training. No? We need these players, our team, to be exposed, number one, with this level of competition. No? Para, for example, like what is Alex doing right now, so more exposure to her, and it's the same thing with our team that we need this high-level competition from now and then to make sure na they're learning. Kumbaga, competition, you still learn whether you win or you lose.
Alex Ayala's remarkable breakthrough on the WTA Tour is now pushing Philippine tennis towards an even bigger goal. After her historic WTA 500 title in Washington and another deep run in Toronto, the Philippine Sports Commission is now eyeing more Women's Tennis Association events, including the possibility of a WTA 250 tournament in the country. Zeus Valdez has the story.
Alex Ayala has enjoyed the biggest stretch of her young career. The 21-year-old Filipina captured her first ever WTA Tour singles title after winning the Mubadala DC Open, becoming the first Filipina to lift a WTA 500 trophy. She followed that breakthrough with another impressive performance at the National Bank Open in Toronto, where she reached the round of 16 before bowing to former world number 4 and Olympic champion Belinda Bencic. Her recent success has not only elevated her status on the world stage, but has also brought renewed attention to Philippine tennis. With Ayala continuing to raise the sports profile, Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Gregorio believes the country should capitalize on the momentum. The Philippines already made history earlier this year after successfully hosting its first ever Women's Tennis Association tournament, the Philippine Women's Open, a WTA 125 event. Now, Gregorio wants to take the next step.
Well, yung WTA 125, 3 taon niyang nakakontrata sa Pilipinas. Kasama yan sa grassroots development program natin. Alam naman natin ang WTA 125 ay ang starting point ng WTA hosting, 125, 250, 500, 1,000 hanggang sa World Tour. So, ang importante, mag-host tayo. Kung pwedeng 2, 3 WTA sa buong Pilipinas, let's do that. Kung merong pwedeng isa sa Visayas, sa Luzon, sa Mindanao, let's do that.
The PSC chairman said expanding the country's WTA calendar would give Filipino players more opportunities to earn world ranking points and compete against elite international opposition without leaving the country. He said the next goal is to build on the success of the WTA 125 event and eventually bring an even bigger tournament to the Philippines.
Kung pwedeng iangat natin sa WTA 250 in the near future, tayo makikipagpanayam sa FILTA. So, ang importante lang po, tuloy-tuloy lang ni Alex yung kanyang pagpapanalo at pagsisigasig.
Beyond developing world-class athletes, Gregorio said attracting more international tennis events also supports the PSC's long-term vision of making the Philippines a leading sports tourism destination. He believes major tournaments can attract foreign athletes, coaches, officials, media, and fans, generating economic activity for local businesses while showcasing the country's capability to host world-class sporting events. For Gregorio, the initiative is part of the PSC's overall mission of grassroots to gold, gold to greatness, where investing in young athletes goes hand in hand with elevating Philippine sports on the global stage. He also credited the leadership of Philippine Tennis Association saying the sport's recent progress has been made possible through a strong partnership between the government and the National Sports Association.
Mga batang liderato for sports, yan naman po ang hinahanap namin sa PSC. Sabi ko nga po, we have 84 NSAs under us. Ang importante po, 84 presidents, 84 leaders na talagang itataguyod yung sport nila. Hindi naman po kaya ng gobyerno yan na gobyerno lang lahat. Ang importante po, sumusuporta yung gobyerno para maging progressive yung mga NSAs sa sport na kanilang tinataguyod.
With plans to expand the country's presence on the WTA calendar, the PSC hopes Ayala's success will not only inspire the next generation of Filipino players, but also help establish the Philippines as a regular host of world-class tennis events, further strengthening both the nation's sports development program and its growing sports tourism industry. Zeus Valdez, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Anne Hathaway is turning heads with her latest maternity look, proudly showing off her baby bump at the world premiere of The End of Oak Street in California. The 43-year-old actress wore a custom blue and red satin top with a dramatic long train paired with low-rise jeans, red heels, and matching lipstick. She completed the glamorous look with a high ponytail and gold and red Bulgari jewelry. Hathaway, who announced her pregnancy in June, is expecting her third child with husband Adam Schulman. A man has been arrested after allegedly breaking into Kim Kardashian's mansion in the Hidden Hills area near Calabasas. According to reports, deputies responded to the property and found the suspect inside the house. He is accused of briefly taking one of Kardashian's vehicles for a drive around the neighborhood before returning to the mansion. The suspect's identity has not been released, and the allegations have not been established in court. Kardashian and her children were reportedly not at home while it was being renovated. Heart Evangelista is spilling some unexpected breakup tea, and it involves a diamond. The actress host revealed in her show that she once gave away a heart-shaped diamond ring from a former boyfriend to charity after their relationship ended. Hart said she was, quote, sobrang heartbroken at the time, prompting her to let go of the sentimental piece. As for another necklace from the same ex, Hart joked of selling it while choosing not to identify the former boyfriend. Bea Alonzo and Vincent Ko are giving fans a rare glimpse of their life as newlyweds. The couple stepped out together for Bea Sacosana's 30th birthday, marking what appears to be their first public appearance since their private civil wedding last July 13. Bea shared snaps from the intimate celebration where she and husband joined Sacosana's family and closest friends. Sacosana, who is also Alonzo's business partner, was reportedly among the select few who witnessed the couple exchange their vows. That's the Midday Report. I'm Mai Rodriguez. See you again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Stay informed and stay safe.